Hey friends, Kevin here, your Sacramento, Stockton area realtor and lender, here with this week's weekly real estate report. All right, so what am I hearing out there right now as far as the tricks of the trade? Well, I think the big thing I'm hearing right now is marry the house, date the rate. In other words, find a house you like, get whatever mortgage you get, don't worry about it. And later on, when rates get better, you get refinanced. And it just reminds me of so many people I've worked with in the past. I don't work with them anymore, but their response to everything in lending was, don't worry about it. Hey, I don't think I can afford this house. Don't worry about it. You know what? When rates get better, you come see me and I will refinance you. What a nice person, right? It's kind of like going onto a car lot and the car salesman saying, hey, here's the perfect car for you. And you say, oh, I don't think I can afford that car. And so the salesman says, I tell you what, you buy this car and we'll finance you. And if you find out in a couple of months or years, you can't afford this car, you bring it back and I will sell you a different one. Well, it's the same thing, right? It's really just reselling something. Hey, loan officers, we sell mortgages. So if I tell you that, hey, don't worry about it, just come back and see me and I'll sell you a new mortgage, it's just saying come back and I'll, get more business. So no, you should be set up from the get-go with the right mortgage and safety and security. That's why I keep pushing 30-year fixed. And yes, if rates go down, you should refinance and you should go see somebody who trusts, who gives you a fantastic deal. Unfortunately for me, a lot of my clients, I hate to say it this way, don't come back simply because they have such low mortgage rates now that they're not going to beat them. So, kind of work myself out of a job there by giving you a fantastic deal, but that's the point. All right. Let's talk about this one here though. Right now, the other thing that's out there is these buy-down mortgages, a 2-1 buy-down, 3-2-1 buy-down. Really what those numbers are indicating, like a 3-2-1 buy-down, is you take the rate that you would get, and for the first year, that rate is 3% lower. Then the next rate, it's 2% lower. The next year, it's 1% lower. And then for the next, if you had a 3-2-1, you have 3 years, you have 27 years remaining, it's fixed at the normal rate, right? So, or a 2-1, where the first year it's 2% less, the next year it's 1% less, and the next 28 years it's at the note rate. There's always a cost involved with this. So the cost is, if you want, we'll just go with the 2-1 buy down. You say, hey, I'm going to buy this house, the 2-1 buy down, and the current rate, we'll just use easy math, is 7. Then the first year you're going to pay 5%, and the next year you pay 6%, next year it's 7%. All right, sounds like a great deal, but the bank's not in business to be your friend. They want to make money. So where does this money come from? Well, that money comes from either you or the seller. So in the seller paid scenario, what happens is the bank calculates this out and says, okay, well, let's take a real example. You want to buy a house at $500,000. You're going to put 10% down. So you have a loan amount of $450,000. Note rate right now, 6.25%. And so we calculate this out. So year one, you're at 4.25%. Well, you're going to save $557 a month. Payment's lower. Next year, it's at 5.25%. You're going to save $285 a month. Well, that totals out over those 2 years to be about a little over $10,000. And again, banks, nice people, but they're in business to make money. So where's this $10,000 coming from? Real simple. You go to the seller and you say, seller, you got to pay them, the bank, $10,000 so I can save some money here. And if the seller agrees, fantastic. There you go. But remember, if the seller was willing to give up $10,000, they would have taken $10,000 less for the house. Now, I did some math, spent some time looking at it, and what's better for you, the buy down or to get $10,000 less? Well, there's a bunch of factors in there like lower taxes and stuff when you pay less for a house. All that to say, it's about even. Yes, you pay a little bit less for the house, less for taxes. On the other side, you less in mortgage payment. Over 30-year period of time, it's within $10,000. So I would say that really doesn't make much difference. All right, let's just say the seller says no. Number one, we're not taking $10,000 less for our house. And number two, we're not giving you $10,000. That's the price. If you want a buy down, deal with it yourself. Banks are happy to do that. They have what's called a loan level price adjustment. In other words, you go to the bank and you say, hey, first 2 years, I want a better rate, then a better rate the next year, and then I'll pay you. Bank says, fine. Well, if you didn't want that, your rate would be 6.25%. But since you want this whole buy down thing and you want us to kind of eat some of the costs, well, your rate's going to jump up to 7.625. They're going to charge you about 2.375 more. And when I price it out, 7.6 was just as high as any bank would go. So you're going to pay more in that rate. And then you're thinking, well, wow, if the rate goes up that much, I mean, how much savings is there? Well, not a lot. Yeah, it still works out to there's some. Because rather than being at 6.25 that first year, even you would be at, if you go up from 7 back 2, so you're at 625. So it's still better than the original 6. Next year is still a little bit better, but after that, you're just losing money. So not a great deal on that one. Hopefully throwing out those numbers didn't confuse you too much, because I was throwing them out there. But anyway, the right scenario, buy down works. That's why you need somebody who you trust, a mortgage professional who runs all of the numbers, puts them all in front of you, educates you and say, what do you want? And what works best for you? Because that's what it's really all about. All right, let's move on and talk about the chart for this week, the weekly real estate report. All right, check out the median list price. I don't think anybody's expecting that. I was just even seeing some articles today, YouTubers, the fall of California is upon us. I don't know. A lot of people didn't get the word if the list price is continuing to go up, up, and up. Now, in some fairness, I am also monitoring the average square foot of homes, and the average square foot of listed homes is kind of high. We could construe from that the homes that aren't selling are the higher valued homes, which is somewhat true. We have a lot of first-time home buyers still out there buying. They can afford the lesser priced homes. So that would definitely account for this huge spread and the fact that the median sold price actually dropped for 3 weeks in a row. So we do have that difference. The homes that average price of the homes that are out there available is going up, and the average price of the homes that are being sold is going down. So that has to tell you that it's the lesser priced homes that are selling. Anyway, all right. So available inventory, yeah. Hey, it's time. I said at the end of March, we should see that turn around. Okay, I've got one more day left before that's supposed to turn around and go the other way. Meanwhile, pending sales have just stagnated. And, normally I would say I'm a little surprised to see that simply because there's so many people still want to buy a house and rates have gone down, but there's just isn't any inventory. So what are you going to buy? Right. So, all right. Speaking of rates did go down for the 3rd week in a row. Yay. Let me see. Well, yeah, 3rd week in a row. We are now down to 6.32 according to Freddie Mac on that. And that is the end of the report for this week. Thanks for sticking around. I ran a little long today, but hope you have a wonderful weekend. I'll be out doing an open house this weekend in El Dorado Hills. If you're out there, throw me a text and love to see you. Anyway, have a great weekend. Take care. Bye.